Okay, the next topic, I don't know whether your textbook covers this in chapter 2, but I think it's a good idea to cover this at this point, because if you want to print something, you want to be able to print, if you simply use the print command or print function without any formatting, sometimes it may not look nice or look legible. Okay, it'll all be messed up or something. When you want to print them in a formatted fashion, we use what is called the F-string formatting. So this is for print format string. That's what F-string is. Okay. Now, when Python started, like many years ago, it used to use. So if you go to this site, you'll have more information about F strings. Okay, so here, if you're searching for how to print something in Google, you may encounter any one of these 3 different ways of printing. Okay, so initially, it was what was called percentage formatting. So whenever there is a variable to be printed, you'll use a percentage sign and a variable name. It still works, but that's not recommended. That's been superseded. This is old school. Okay, do not use. Okay. Then there was a improved print formatting. So that's called Python string format method, where you put all the variables on the left side and then the formatting on the right side. Somewhat cumbersome, not very efficient. So verbose, again, that's old, somewhat middle school maybe. Again, do not use that. Okay, so when you Google for printing, sometimes you'll see some people have posted something from way back, and they're using the old methods. Okay? But remember, those are old methods. The most recent one, more versatile, more efficient, is what is called F-string method. Now, F-string method is more rational, if you will, more logical. Okay? And that's what we're going to discuss. We're not going to discuss the other 2. And by the way, the format method is very similar to the F-string, except that F-string is more efficient and more logical. Okay, so I'm going to go over the basic stuff that we need. Okay, if you want more information, then you can go to that site and get more information from there. So the syntax is similar to the one that we used in the str format, which is that one, but less verbose. Okay. F-strings are evaluated at runtime, so you can put any and all valid Python expressions. So you don't have to do computation if you need to compute something and print that computed value. And you really don't want that computed value elsewhere. So you don't have to compute something and then print in a second statement. In the print statement itself, you can do the computation. So you have 2 variables and you want to add the 2, or you want to compute the age or current age, like today's date minus date of birth, and you want to print that. And that computation you can do within the F-string itself. Okay? So F-strings are evaluated at runtime, so you can put all valid expressions there. Okay. Now format spec, well, it is the colon. Okay, there is something here that's missing. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Okay, so my escape character is not working here. So format spec order after colon. Well, anyway, so width and precision and all that. Okay, so I'm going to explain all that here. So let's start with example 1. Okay, so now we have bunch of variables. Okay, name, wage, overtime rate, okay, target, I don't know what that is, target, change, and birth date. Okay. All right. So now we want to print the name and the wage rate. Okay. So you can simply print, okay, if you know this is one single string. Okay, so start with an F, and then you have starting quotation and ending quotation. And within that, okay, any text that you want to print, you just type those. And any variable or variable computation that you want, you do that within the curly braces. Okay. Now, if you didn't want to use this, well, I have to run this first. Okay. So I could have done this too. Okay. I could have done print name equal to, so, and then say name and wage equal to dollar, and then wage, and that will print it also. Okay, but then I can control the spaces and all that. You know, you cannot format anything. You just print the text and then the variable name, the text and the variable name, and so on. No formatting is possible if you use print in this fashion. That's why this is not advisable. So you shouldn't do that. So you should use the F property, or whatever it's called, F function, and then F followed by quotation mark. And within the quotation mark, whatever you type, the text will be printed as text, and then the variable names we will have to specify within curly braces. And within the curly braces, you can do computation. You can say wage times 3, then times, no, that will, okay. So the computations, you know, if you have any computation that can be performed within those curly braces. Okay. So now, what are the different ways in which we can format this F string? This is called F string printing. So what are the different ways in which we can format? Okay. So this is the syntax. Within the curly braces, okay, that is where you're going to do the formatting, right? Outside of that, outside of the curly braces, just simply text. You type them up whichever way you want. Okay. Within the curly braces, then you say, so here is the curly braces, the variable name, colon width. So you put the name of the variable and then the width, so it's going to adjust to that width, and then it's going to print. And I have here vertical lines for us to see how the width is getting used. Okay, we won't really put those vertical lines when you're printing. The only reason I have that is for us to see how the width part is used in the printing. Okay, as you see here, say 15. Okay, so this is only 7. So 8 more blank spaces are appended to the end. So it takes up 15 spaces to print the value contained in name. And then you have, that's the end. Then you have the dollar sign. That dollar sign is in the F string. Dollar sign is not part of the wage. So you have the dollar sign right there. Then wage is 10, and wage is a number, so it is right adjusted. Okay. Name is a string, so the default is left adjusted. Wage is numeric, so by default it is right adjusted. You can control that. You can control whether to left adjust or right adjust. Okay, so that's aligned here. So you put a less than sign for left align, greater than sign to right align, and this caret sign, which is shift 6, that is for center. So equal only for numeric, plus or minus sign is aligned to the left. So you have a plus sign or a minus sign. You want to align it to the left, then you use the equal sign. Align code must appear just before the width. Okay. Now, the same f function, okay, so now I have the name, okay, colon, the width. Width is 15. So right before the width, I can specify how to align it. Whether to align it to the right, to the left, center, or whatever. So now if I use a greater than sign, it's going to right align. So now here, this is center, so it's going to get centered. Okay? Okay, so here, grouping character for numeric. Okay, it's like Excel accounting format. So you use either comma or underscore. So same thing. Now I have one more variable, target. Target is 125,000. So if I put a comma there, it's going to put an accounting format. So let's see what happens if I put an underscore here. I guess underscore is used in some other country somewhere in place of comma. I don't know, but uses that. So for us, it's going to be comma. Okay, okay so far? All right, so now decimal precision. So how about decimal precision? You want to put some decimal places. So 12.2, so you want it in 2 decimal places here. So same thing, now you add how many decimal places you want, and then followed by an F. So 10.2 F, we'll put 2 decimal places. Okay, so dot NF. Okay, it's specified after the width. You specify the width, and after that, you put dot the number of decimal places you want, and then an F. Okay. Now, percentage, so here is, if you use a percentage sign, it will automatically convert the number into a percentage sign. So instead of F, suppose if I have an F there, okay, F is going to print the OT rate as is with 2 decimal places. Okay, actually, we want 3 decimal places there, so 0.052. But instead of F, if I use the percentage sign, okay, instead of F, percentage sign, then it's going to take that number, whatever that number is, convert it into a percentage, which means multiply by 100. Okay, and then it will use the dot n as the number of decimal places. So here, if I say 10.3 percentage sign, this is going to be multiplied by 100. It's going to put 3 decimal places and then a percentage sign at the end. Okay. So let me put it back to 2 like it was. Now, adding a plus or a minus sign, okay. So, if you put a plus sign, it'll add a, usually plus sign is not printed, right? You have a negative number, you'll have a negative sign in front. If it is a positive number, you don't have a positive sign in front, it's just the number. But if you want for some reason to put that positive sign, then you put a plus in front of the width. Okay. Now, the equal sign will take the negative sign and put it, make it left aligned. So if I don't have that equal sign, then the negative sign for that number, change of 4,000, the negative sign, this is how you normally want it, right? Negative sign right there. So you won't use any alignment there, but it's there. So I just want to show you. This is something that you're probably not going to use very much. So if you have a equal sign puts the minus sign left aligned.